So, you want to talk about power? I mean, real power. Not the stuff you see in movies, not the feel-good motivational posters. I'm talking about the raw, unfiltered, sometimes brutal mechanics of how things actually get done in the world. It's a wild subject, man. We like to think everything is about being the good guy, about being liked, about playing fair. But when you really start digging into history, when you look at the people who built empires, who changed the world, who held on to power when everything was trying to tear them down, you see a different pattern. A much darker, more pragmatic pattern. It's this hidden rule book, this playbook that's been used for centuries. But nobody ever wants to admit they're using it. It's controversial. It makes people uncomfortable, because it forces you to look at the world not as you wish it were, but as it actually is. It strips away the idealism and gets down to the nuts and bolts of human nature, ambition, and survival. It's the kind of knowledge that's both terrifying and fascinating, because once you see it, you can't unsee it. You start to recognize these moves being played out all around you, from corporate boardrooms to global politics. We're diving deep into the principles that the powerful use but never, ever talk about. This isn't about whether these rules are good or bad. That's a whole other conversation. This is about understanding the game. It's about recognizing the strategies that have shaped our world, for better or for worse. So buckle up, because we're about to explore the savage, unspoken truths of power. The new realism. These precepts are not for the idealistic, but for the pragmatic ruler who wishes to found a new state and secure it against all enemies. The ultimate goal: maintain power and ensure the stability of the state. All right, let's start with a big one, a real classic. Is it better to be feared or to be loved? In a perfect world, man, you'd want both. Everybody loves you, but they also respect your authority so much they'd never cross you. But here's the thing, we don't live in a perfect world. People are fickle. Love is a bond of obligation. Human beings, being self-interested, will break that bond whenever it suits them. It's an unreliable currency. You can't build an empire on handshakes and good feelings. Fear, on the other hand, fear is different. Fear is based on a dread of punishment. That's a feeling that never goes away. It's a primal, powerful motivator. Love is held by a chain of gratitude, easily broken. Fear is held by a chain of terror, unbreakable. When the chips are down and things get chaotic, people choose self-interest over affection almost every time. Fear wins, much more reliable. This doesn't mean be a monster. There's a difference between being feared and being hated. Love is sand, fear is granite. A smart leader knows love is a bonus. Fear is the foundation. It keeps people in line because they understand consequences. It's harsh, but true. True stability rests on something stronger than sentiment. So here's a situation that comes up all the time in business, in life, in geopolitics. You've got two big dogs fighting it out. Two major powers, two competing companies, whatever. And you're caught in the middle. The temptation, the safe move, seems to be to stay neutral. Don't pick a side. Just keep your head down and hope the storm passes you by. That, right there, is one of the most dangerous mistakes you can make. It feels like the path of least resistance, but it's a trap. It's a total illusion of safety. Think about it. If you stay neutral, what happens? When one side wins, and one side always wins, they're not going to look at you as a friend. Why would they? You didn't help them when they were struggling, when they were risking everything. They'll see you as, at best, useless, and at worst, a potential future enemy who was just waiting to see who'd come out on top. And the loser. The loser will hate you because you stood by and did nothing while they were getting crushed. You become an enemy to both. You're left completely isolated. By trying to avoid making any enemies, you've made yourself vulnerable to everyone. Decisive action, even if it's risky, is almost always better than hesitant neutrality. You have to pick a side. You declare yourself openly. If you win, you have a powerful ally who owes you. If you lose, well, you go down fighting with an ally. But standing in the middle of the road just guarantees you'll get run over, no matter which direction the traffic is coming from. This one is brutal, man. There's no way around it. When you conquer a territory, when you take over a rival company, When you defeat an opponent who is used to being free and powerful, you have a critical choice to make. And doing it halfway is the absolute worst thing you can do. If you leave them wounded, but still alive, if you just take some of their power, leave their structures and their pride intact, you are planting the seeds of your own destruction. You've created an enemy who now has a singular purpose: revenge. Think about it from their perspective. You've humiliated them. You've taken what was theirs. Every day they wake up, they are reminded of their defeat. They will never forget it. And they will wait, patiently, for the moment you show weakness. They'll wait for you to get distracted. And that's when they'll strike. A wounded enemy is the most dangerous enemy of all, because they have nothing left to lose and everything to gain by seeing you fall. Half measures are a recipe for disaster. So, the cold logic is this: you either have to completely and utterly ruin them, dismantle their power structures, scatter their supporters, and erase their identity so they can never rise against you again, or you leave them completely alone. The middle ground, the act of injuring them without destroying them, is pure folly. It's like punching a bear and then trying to reason with it. All you've done is make it angry and focused on destroying you. If you're going to strike, you have to be prepared to strike so decisively that there is no possibility of a counterattack. Ever. Chapter 4. Alright, let's talk about managing people and the perception of your actions. It's not just about what you do, it's about how and when you do it. This is next-level psychological stuff. When you have to inflict harm, fire someone, make cuts, enforce a harsh rule, you do it all at once. One single, overwhelming blow. People get shocked, they get angry, they suffer. But then it's over. The pain is concentrated into a short period. They have less time to dwell and build lasting resentment. A single big event fades faster than many small ones. If you keep inflicting small injuries, a little cut here, a new tax there, another privilege taken away next month, you are torturing people. You keep the wound fresh. Each new action reminds them of the last. Their hatred grows and festers. You never give them a chance to forget. So if cruelty is necessary, make it swift, make it severe, make it final, get it over with. But kindness? Do the opposite. Dispense it slowly, piece by piece. A small favor here, a little bonus there, a public recognition next week. Each small act creates fresh gratitude. People savor them individually. Giving everything away at once is huge, but short-lived. String kindness out and you constantly remind people of your generosity. Cruelty, a single clap of thunder. The kindness should be a slow, steady rain. Chapter 5. This is one of the most powerful metaphors for leadership you'll ever hear. You have to be two animals at once. You must be the lion. You must be the fox. If you're just the lion, you're in big trouble. The lion is all about brute force. He's strong, he's terrifying, he can crush his enemies. Nobody wants to face the lion head-on, but the lion is not subtle. He walks right into traps and nets because he can't see them. He relies only on his strength, and that's a huge vulnerability. Pure force isn't enough to navigate the complexities of power. You'll be outmaneuvered by clever, weaker opponents. That's where the fox comes in. The fox is cunning. The fox isn't strong. He can't fight the wolves head-on, but he's a master of survival. He recognizes traps from a mile away. He knows how to be deceptive, how to lay low, how to use his wits to navigate a dangerous world. The fox avoids the dangers that the lion blunders into. He understands the terrain and the hidden currents of power. So, a truly effective leader has to combine these two natures. You need the ferocity of the lion to frighten the wolves, to deter your enemies, to project an image of overwhelming strength so people don't even think about challenging you directly. But you also need the cunning of the fox to recognize the snares, to see the plots being laid against you, to navigate the political intrigue and deception that are always present. Being just one or the other makes you incomplete and vulnerable. You have to be strong enough to win the fight, and smart enough to avoid it in the first place. Chapter 6. Chapter 6. Chapter 6. This is a tough pill to swallow for a lot of people. It's not about what you are, it's about what you appear to be. The vast majority of people will never know the real you. They won't be in the room when you make the hard decisions. They only see the public performance. And that performance is everything. To the masses, appearance is reality. Therefore, it is essential for a leader to appear virtuous, even when your actions behind the scenes have to be, well, less than virtuous. You must seem to be merciful. You must seem to be faithful. You must seem to be humane. You must seem to be religious. You must seem to be upright. It's crucial that people believe you embody these qualities. This public perception builds trust and loyalty. It makes people want to follow you. Most men judge more by their eyes than by their hands. Everyone sees what you appear to be, but few experience what you really are. And those few who do know the truth won't dare to oppose the opinion of the many who have the majesty of the state to defend them. The trick is to know when to act on these virtues and when to set them aside for the good of the state. In times of peace and stability, you can afford to be merciful and honest. But when the security of your power is at stake, you must be prepared to act contrary to faith, to charity, to humanity, and to religion. You need a mind that can turn itself as the winds and tides of fortune dictate. You maintain the appearance of the good man, while holding the ability to be the opposite when necessity demands it. It's a constant, calculated performance. Chapter 7. Here's something that seems completely counterintuitive. We think of powerful leaders as being lavish, throwing big parties, building incredible monuments. We associate generosity with power. But here's the cold, hard truth. Being seen as generous with the state's money is one of the fastest ways to lose power. It's a self-defeating quality. To be generous, you need resources. Where do those resources come from? They come from the people, through taxes. If you spend lavishly, you'll eventually drain your treasury. And once the money's gone, to maintain your reputation for generosity, you'll be forced to become rapacious. You'll have to burden your people with extraordinary taxes. This will, very quickly, make them hate you. Or you'll end up spending the wealth of your predecessors, which is a finite resource. Either way, this path of generosity leads directly to poverty, the hatred of your subjects. It's a short-term gain for a long-term disaster. The wiser path is to embrace a reputation for frugality, even if people call you a miser at first. Don't worry about it. Frugality is a form of hidden long-term generosity. By being careful with your resources, by not squandering money on spectacle, you ensure that you have the funds you need for the important things, like national defense public works, without having to tax your people into oblivion. Over time, people will see that your thrifty rule allows the state to be strong and secure, and they can live their lives without being constantly squeezed for more money. Frugality, not lavishness, is what preserves both your resources and the people's goodwill. Chapter 8. We've established that being feared is more reliable than being loved. But there is a line you must never cross. You can be feared, but never hated. Hatred is a different emotion. Fear keeps people in line. Hatred makes them conspire against you. A hated ruler is never safe. How do you keep fear without hate? It's simple. 2 things men never forgive you for taking. First, their property. Second, their women. Keep your hands off possessions and honor. They stay content. You can be strict. You can be severe. You can execute traitors and make examples. People accept that. But start practicing rapacity, seizing land, confiscating wealth, violating families, and you create unforgivable grievance. A man will forget his father's death sooner than losing his inheritance. Cynical, but pragmatic. Other discontents are manageable. Resentment over property and honor is a fire you can't control. Rule: punish when you must, be as firm as needed, but leave their stuff alone. Leave their families alone. That is the boundary between a feared ruler and a hated tyrant. Is everything just random chance? Are we just leaves in the wind? The answer is no. But fortune is a powerful force like a raging river. When it's flooding, it sweeps everything away. You can't stop it, but that doesn't mean you're helpless. During calm weather, a wise man builds dams, dikes, channels, so when the flood comes, the water is either diverted or contained. You can't control the storm, but you can prepare for it. This is where audacity comes in. Fortune, they say, is a woman. And like a woman, she is more often won over by the bold and impetuous than by the cautious and calculating. She favors the young, the aggressive, the ones who command her rather than plead with her. Hesitation is death. When you see an opportunity, you have to seize it with vigor. If you wait, if you analyze it to death, the moment will pass, and fortune will have moved on to someone else. In moments of uncertainty and chaos, it is better to be audacious than to be cautious. A bold move might fail, that's true, but a series of hesitant, timid moves will almost certainly fail. Boldness creates its own momentum. It can shock and disorient your opponents. It signals confidence and strength, which can rally allies to your side. When the path forward is unclear, the man who steps forward with conviction is the one who bends fortune to his will. Caution has its place, but in the great game of power, audacity is a trump card. Chapter 10. For a leader, for anyone who holds power, there should be only one primary thought, one central study, one art that you master above all others: the art of war. This doesn't just mean a literal battlefield. It means the art of conflict, of strategy, of discipline, of organization. Everything else is secondary. A leader who neglects the study of war, who gets lost in the soft life of peacetime, will lose their state. A private citizen who masters it can rise to become a leader. This preoccupation with war and conflict shapes everything you do. In times of peace, you must be even more focused on it than in times of war. You train your mind and your body. You should be constantly hunting, not just for sport, but to harden your body to hardship, to learn the lay of the land. You need to know your country intimately, how the mountains rise, how the valleys open, how the rivers flow. This knowledge is critical for defense and for planning any offense. It's practical, on-the-ground intelligence. But it's not just physical. You must also train your mind. This means studying history. Read about the great commanders of the past. Analyze their battles. What did they do right? What were their mistakes? You must imitate the successful ones and learn from the failures. This constant mental and physical preparation ensures that when crisis comes, and it always comes, you are not caught off guard. You have the discipline, the knowledge, and the resilience to face it. The art of war is the art of survival and dominance. All other arts depend on it. Chapter 11. Leaders love to build things, especially fortresses, big walls, high towers, deep moats. They seem like the ultimate guarantee of security, a physical, tangible defense against your enemies. But this is one of the biggest illusions of power. A fortress, no matter how strong, is absolutely useless if the people inside it hate you. In fact, it can become your prison. It gives you a false sense of security, while the real danger, the resentment of your own subjects, grows outside and inside the walls. Think about it. If your people despise you, a fortress just becomes a target. It's a symbol of your tyranny, a place for them to direct their anger. An external enemy can attack, and your own people might just open the gates for them. Or worse, they'll rise up themselves, and you'll be trapped inside your own stronghold, besieged by the very people you're supposed to rule. No wall is high enough to protect you from the hatred of your own populace. The best fortress a leader can possibly have is not to be hated by the people. If you have the goodwill of your subjects, you don't need stone walls. They will be your walls. They will fight for you. They will warn you of plots. They will defend the state as if it were their own family. Their loyalty is a living, breathing defense that is 1,000 times more effective than any physical fortification. So, before you spend a fortune on walls and towers, invest your energy in securing the support of the people. That is the only fortress that can never be taken. Chapter 12. Every leader is surrounded by people, advisors, ministers, experts. One of the biggest dangers is flattery. People will tell you what they think you want to hear, because it's safer than telling you the truth. They'll praise your bad ideas. They'll downplay serious threats. A leader surrounded by sycophants is essentially blind and deaf. They're living in a fantasy world constructed by others. That's an incredibly dangerous place to be. You have to find a way to get to the truth. Carefully select a small group of wise, prudent advisors. Give them, and only them, absolute freedom to speak the truth on any subject without fear of punishment. Encourage them to hold nothing back. Question them about everything. Listen patiently to their opinions. This is how you gather real intelligence. See the world as it is, not as you wish it to be. But here's the crucial second part. After hearing all opinions and raw, unfiltered truth, the final decision must be yours alone. Deliberate by yourself. Once your mind is made up, be resolute. Enforce it without question. A leader who constantly changes their mind will be despised and seen as weak. Solicit the truth from many. The final command comes from one. When it comes to defending your state, you might be tempted to take shortcuts. You don't have a strong army, so you hire one. You bring in mercenaries. Or you make an alliance with a powerful neighbor and ask them to send their troops, auxiliaries, to help you fight your battles. This is one of the most fatal errors a leader can make. Mercenaries and auxiliaries are worse than useless. They are actively dangerous to you and your power. Let's break it down. Mercenaries are disloyal. Mercenaries are undisciplined. They fight only for money. If the enemy offers them more, they might switch sides. If the fighting gets too hard, they'll run. They have no love for you or your state. They have no skin in the game beyond their next paycheck. Relying on them is like building your house on quicksand. They will fail you when you need them most, and in times of peace, they will bleed your treasury dry. Auxiliary troops are even more dangerous. These are the armies of another ruler, and they are competent, disciplined, and loyal to their own master. If they lose, you are ruined. But if they win your battle for you, you become their prisoner. You have a powerful foreign army sitting in your country, an army that you don't control. You've invited the wolf into the henhouse to protect you from the fox. The only safe and reliable path is to raise your own army, composed of your own citizens. Men who are fighting for their own homes, their own families, their own country. Their arms are the only arms you can ever truly trust. Power isn't just about winning wars, managing finances. It's also about theater. A leader must be a master of the grand spectacle. You have to constantly keep your people engaged, amazed, a little bit in awe of you. Undertake great enterprises, give rare examples of your own ability, create a sense of wonder, and keep minds occupied. They should be so busy watching your next move, they have no time or energy to plot against you. Every action you take should have a certain greatness about it. When you reward someone, do it in a way that is public and memorable. When you punish someone, make it a stark and unforgettable lesson. Your projects should be ambitious. Great buildings, bold expeditions, grand festivals. These things give the people a sense of pride and participation in something larger than themselves. It creates a narrative of progress and strength with you as the central character. This also serves to build your reputation. People talk. They will speak of your boldness, your genius, your magnanimity. This constant chatter builds a legend around you that becomes a source of power in itself. You must always be thinking about how to create a spectacle, how to make an impression, how to keep the populace in a state of suspense and admiration. A ruler who is boring and predictable is a ruler who is vulnerable. You must be the main event. We talked about the need to be both the lion and the fox, but it's so important that we need to look at its practical application again. It's a constant balancing act. You can't just be one or the other for a whole year. You have to be both, sometimes in the same day, sometimes in the same conversation. The lion part is about projecting strength. Your military must be strong. Your punishments must be swift. Your public statements must be firm. This is what deters challenges. But most of your day-to-day survival depends on being the fox. The fox is what allows you to break a promise when keeping it would harm the state. A promise is a tool, not an unbreakable sacred vow. If circumstances change, and a treaty you made is now against your interests, a leader must have the cunning of the fox to find a way out of it, and have plenty of legitimate-sounding reasons to justify it. Those who are best at being foxes are the most successful. But, and this is the key, you must be able to disguise this nature. You have to be a great pretender and dissembler. You must appear to be the opposite of what you are. While you are breaking your word for the good of the state, you must publicly extol the virtues of honesty and keeping one's word. People are simple. They are taken in by appearances. So you act with the cunning of the fox, but you wear the skin of a lamb. This duality is the essence of effective rule. You use the lion's strength to create fear, and the fox's cunning to navigate the treacherous world of politics, all while appearing to be virtuous. Chapter 16. The world is never static. It's constantly changing. New technologies emerge, alliances shift, economies boom and bust. A leader who tries to resist change, who clings to the old ways because they were successful in the past, is doomed. You cannot build a dam against the river of time. The only way to survive is to be adaptable, to have a character that changes with the times. This is one of the hardest things for a person to do. We are all creatures of habit. If a certain strategy has worked for us our whole lives, our instinct is to keep using it. A cautious man who has always succeeded through patience will find it almost impossible to suddenly become bold and audacious, even when the situation demands it. And a bold man will struggle to be cautious when prudence is required. This is why so many leaders fail. They can't change their own nature to match the changing times. The truly successful leader is one who can diagnose the quality of the times and adapt their methods accordingly. When fortune is on your side and things are moving fast, you must act with impetuosity and boldness to take full advantage. When the times are difficult and require consolidation, you must be able to act with patience and caution. This ability to be flexible, to not be a prisoner of your own past successes or your own nature, is the hallmark of a master strategist. You don't just react to change, you ride it, and make it work for you. Chapter 17. We talked about fortune being a raging river. Let's go deeper on that. Many people believe that everything is governed by fortune and by God, and that we have no control. They think, why bother? It's all fated anyway. This is a lazy and dangerous way to think, especially for a leader. It's an excuse for inaction. The truth is, fortune probably controls about half of our actions. But the other half, that half is up to us. We have free will. We have the ability to prepare to build our defenses, to exercise our virtue and skill. Fortune only shows her power where there is no organized strength to resist her. She turns her force where she knows that no dams or dikes have been built to contain her. Look at countries that are strong, organized, well-led. They suffer from floods and storms too, but they recover quickly. They have systems in place. Countries that are weak and chaotic get completely wiped out by the same events. So your job is not to try and predict the future or pray for good luck. Your job is to build a state, an organization, a life that is so robust, so resilient, so well prepared that you can withstand the inevitable blows of bad fortune. You build the dams during the sunny days. You train the army during peacetime. You save money when the economy is good. By exercising foresight and taking preventative action, you dramatically reduce the power that luck has over you. You can't stop the rain, but you can build a damn good roof. Chapter 18. Nobody starts from scratch. Every great achievement is built on what came before.